A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through May 14th is the revealing of the Mystery Box promotion, a $225 value for only $99. That includes 3 8-ounce fillets, 2 4-ounce fillets, 4 New York strips, and 4 8-ounce sirloins. Also, 15% off wine and chocolates for Mother's Day. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to a little bit of a break in between our high school state baseball games here. Next, we got Creighton Prep versus Elkhorn South. That one will take place roughly about 6:30 here, so not too far away, maybe a bit later than that. And, of course, it will be Austin Norman, Nick Standard on the call. But we got me and Ben Drozd in the meantime filling the gap. And, Ben, I don't know if I'm aware. Do you got an NBA team? What's your NBA team? Because that's where we're going with this.
My team's the Heat.
Miami Heat. Okay.
Yeah. This was a tough year.
Yeah, no reason to have your surprise me with the tone of voice there. If I was a Miami Heat fan, I'm feeling pretty good. Last year, make it all the way to the finals.
I'm feeling good. You know, we're just we are you know, what's the word? What is the word I'm looking for? We're blessed with just having such great teams that when we get bounced first round against our rival, that we're not happy.
I just think Spoelstra's that great of a playoff coach.
Oh yeah. See, our teams haven't even been that good. The Heat have not had that talented of teams, to be honest.
Fair.
Not like finals talented teams. They've been like good playoff teams, but like not teams like, oh man, that team's going to go to the finals.
Not since the LeBron D-Wade
yeah.
Right now.
So like the fact that they've made 2 finals and made it to the Eastern Conference Finals a bunch of time, like, yeah, Spoelstra, in my opinion, is the best coach in the league. Greg Popovich is the only guy that has an argument.
Yeah, I'd be willing to have that conversation. Spoelstra, Popovich, Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr's overrated. Any Warriors fan would tell you that.
Yeah, but you still got to make it work, right? You look at what Steph Curry's game did. That doesn't happen unless he has a head coach that trusts that.
Oh, I understand that.
The game. And Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, he could have punted it. You got another championship with those guys. Steve Kerr's a great coach.
A lot of Warriors fans were not happy with Steve Kerr this year. I can tell you that.
They can move. That one is where I think fans, that's where you just short notice there. If you want to fire Steve Kerr,
I don't know if they're wanting to fire him, but just not happy with how he's handling lineups.
If you're a Warriors fan, what do you expect out of this, though, at this point? I mean,
to make the playoffs,
you're getting to the end of the road.
to at least make the playoffs.
You had a chance.
Teams like the Pelicans should not be making the playoffs over a team like the Warriors, but you know.
The Pelicans, though, it's not a bad team on paper. Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, you got CJ McCollum.
Brandon Ingram was not that good.
He wasn't that good, but still, Klay Thompson wasn't that good this year, but you're probably taking Klay Thompson over Brandon Ingram. That's the point, right? It's just, you do the Warriors.
I don't know, man. I don't even know.
Klay, well,
Brandon Ingram's probably better than Klay Thompson right now, but that's just tough debate.
The promise is not quite there. It feels like at one point in time, that's where it was definitely going with the league, where Brandon Ingram looked like he was going to be that guy. But no, just really hasn't happened. But we're not here to talk about all the other teams that got bounced. Let's talk about some teams that are in it. You got number 3, Timberwolves, number 2, Nuggets, tied up 2-2. Thunder, Mavericks, that one's tied up as well, 2-2. Celtics get back. They're strong and in control. 3-1 lead in that one. Pacers, Knicks, tied up as well to the Indiana Pacers, and only got enough credit heading into this thing. I think if you watch that team during the regular season, now given it's a tough team to watch not because it's a bad team, but the league pass team. Unless you're paying extra money, you're not seeing a lot of nationally televised games. But if you were catching those games, that offense and what they're doing, it's still a little bit surprising because you get to the playoffs, you expect that defense to really start slowing it down. A Pacers team with how fast they play haven't seemed to have a lot of problems. I know the Bucks didn't have Giannis, but still 4-2. If you're the Bucks on paper, you're better than that.
Not if you don't have Dame or Giannis. They're not a better team on paper if they don't have Dame or Giannis, and they didn't have Dame at the end and they didn't have Giannis.
Dame at the very end there, but they were in a hole even while Dame was playing healthy.
Still, even the team with Damian Lillard, the Pacers are on paper are probably better. That Bucks team is built around Giannis. They have to have Giannis in for that team to be good. But in my opinion, Pacers always had the chance to beat the Bucks just because of the injuries there. But like this Knicks series, again, injuries. If this Knicks team is healthy, they probably sweep the Pacers. In my opinion, they don't have Mitchell Robinson. Yeah. OG Anunoby's huge part of that team. I don't know. I think Knicks, if they're healthy, sweep this Pacers team. I don't think they're that good. I think they're just getting lucky draws with injured teams.
Yeah, I'm not calling for a full sweep there. I know they got some injury bugs, but a full sweep, maybe not. I mean, where do you see with this Pacers-Knicks series going? It's tied up 2-2. Do you still got Knicks close this thing out?
If the Knicks are healthy, I don't know. Is Anunoby going to even be playing? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
Then Pacers are probably going to win. And they're going to win two playoff series because they're playing two injury-riddled teams.
Doesn't matter because it's going to be the Boston Celtics, most likely.
No, it's just a ticket to get destroyed by the Celtics. And the Celtics aren't even that good of a team, to be honest. Any team whoever comes out of the West is going to win the championship.
The Celtics had the best record, though, by far. Wasn't even close.
I agree, but I don't think...
They were in the 60s. The next best team was in the 45.
I understand. The East was weak this year.
It was weak, but that's what I'm talking. That's still a heavy margin of victory.
Oh, I understand. I'm not saying Celtics are bad, but I'm saying, like, compared to number one seeds in the past, like this team without Porzingis is not that good.
Yeah, but Porzingis given we're talking the Eastern Conference Finals here, he should be
maybe. I still think whoever comes out of the West is going to beat the Celtics. Not sweep them or anything, but they're going to beat them probably in like 6.
It's one of those series where if it's anybody but the Denver Nuggets, I think the Celtics are going to win it all.
I would take Timberwolves over Celtics. I would take Nuggets over Celtics. I'd probably take Thunder over Celtics. That one would be close. That series would go 7 games. And
Thunder over Celtics?
That game would go 7. I don't know. I don't right now. If I had to choose, man, probably be Celtics. But that series would go 7 games. And Mavericks aren't making it to the finals. So
Mavericks. What's the biggest problem for the Mavericks? Because I mean, it starts.
You're not going to get PJ Washington scoring 25 plus.
Mm-hmm.
In the Eastern Conference Finals. This team has to have him score a bunch for them to win.
Well, even last night they could have won. Just making free throws.
Yeah.
Shoot 70% from the line.
This team doesn't have a third scorer. And when they do get a third scorer outside of Luka and Kyrie, this is a very good team that could win the championship. But they don't have that third scorer, and that's the problem. They lost Jalen Brunson in free agency, and they haven't gotten a third scorer. Now, Kyrie and Luka, probably arguably the best duo in the league. I don't think so, but they're definitely up there.
Who's the best duo to you? It's probably Jamal Jokic, right?
Probably.
You can even throw Jokic, Aaron Gordon in there. those two games are pretty strong.
I don't know. Luka, Kyrie is up there though. If they had PJ Washington this year averaged like 10 points a game, and that's their third best scorer. Like they need a third option. I get PJ Washington went off for 2 games, but like, come on, he's not a third scorer on a championship team.
Okay, let's talk about the most important one then, and then we'll throw it to break. I say most important probably just because it's the most entertaining. They're all important. We're in the semifinals here, but this one definitely entertaining. Nuggets, they lose the first 2 in a surprising fashion. They go on the road and they steal 2 from Timberwolves. All games won have been on the road. Nobody's won a single home game yet in this series in particular. It's tied up 2-2. Nuggets still seem to always start off games slow. Last night was a little different, but that's kind of been the trend. Every Lakers game, they're down at half. Nuggets, it's kind of been more of the same, but they do find a way to bounce back, tied up 2-2. They play again tonight. Timberwolves, Nuggets. I called it even when they're down 0-2. I was still going Nuggets in 7.
I was still skeptical that the Timberwolves were going to win that series. Definitely was going to go 7, but I still was thinking Nuggets were probably going to win that. And I mean, whoever comes out of this series, in my opinion, is winning the championship. That's just how I feel. I think these are the 2 best teams in the league.
I think I'm with you on that. Now, with the Celtics just being we're going to walk in there and run over the Boston Celtics in the NBA final. I'm not a Celtics fan by any means, but they're
not going to run over. I mean, I think the Nuggets would.
You're calling for a sweep.
I think no. I don't think the Nuggets would sweep the Celtics. Nuggets would it'd probably be like 6 games. Nuggets Celtics, 5 or 6 games if it was Nuggets Celtics. Timberwolves would probably go 7, but I'd still have Timberwolves.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Nuggets are by far best team, but they just for whatever reason didn't look like the Nuggets the first 2 games.
Okay. Who do you got tonight? And then we got one from text line here. Greg from Michigan. If we have time, depending on what this baseball game is looking like here for the start, we'll dive into some Husker football as well. But Timberwolves, Nuggets, I'm going with the Nuggets. They're going to get their first home game in this series tonight.
I got Timberwolves. I don't know why. All the away teams are winning, and I'm not going to pick against that because I don't know. I don't think Anthony Edwards is going to let the Timberwolves go down 3-2 here.
That's totally fair. If I'm going to sit here and act like I know exactly how this series is going, nobody would have picked the first 4 road games to go ahead and ripped away.
And I think we both think Pacers are probably going to win this game tonight because the Knicks are just hurt. Are we in agreement on that?
I'm still the Pacers make me Pascal Siakam has been incredibly impressive. Obviously,
this team's been impressive.
I'm just waiting for them and to meet a defense that really slows them down. Like the Knicks would have been surprising me is the defensive has been all there the entire time. They've had problems slowing them down.
I'll credit the Pacers for winning these games, but don't like the fact that the Pacers are probably going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Just shows how weak this East was
compared to the West. Yeah, I won't disagree that this has been one of the weakest Eastern conferences in a long time.
Like this Pacers team should not even have a chance at Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion. They just shouldn't.
Yeah, I would like to agree with you, but the Bucks. I mean, that's what happens.
No, I know how they got
Doc Rivers
here.
in there as a head coach. I bet you they find a way to win that series with Budenholzer. I know it's not about you want to blame everything on injuries, but again, you're just talking about this Pacers team not being that good. The Bucks they had enough on paper. I get it.
Budenholzer, he wasn't doing much before though. Anyway, that's why he got fired. I'm just saying. It's not like he won. He got the 1 finals. What did he do? What did he do outside that? I get that was a championship, but like
he put that team together. He took a small market team.
He got that. Technically, Jason Kidd was the coach when that team got put together. Technically, it was Jason Kidd.
Started winning games with Budenholzer and winning a finals.
See, Budenholzer was a great regular season coach. His teams have always done great in the regular season, but playoffs not the same. It took. That was the year after the bubble when there was so many injuries in that playoffs. Like this is since that what was that 2021? Since 2021, this is the most injury riddled playoffs we've had.
Yeah,
and it just ruins good basketball because it's just like I don't think the Bucks should have won the finals that year. They shouldn't have. I mean, Budenholzer's gotten outcoached by Eric Spoelstra every time the Bucks and the Heat have played. He got swept the one year when Pat Riley was a sweep at the wheel and didn't make improvements to the team. But
the year the Bucks won it, that was versus the Phoenix Suns, right? When they had Monty Williams.
Yeah.
Like that's an impressive win. Now, matchup wise, you're going to probably favor the Bucks in that one just because the size is not in favor to the Phoenix Suns.
I think he's a better coach than Doc Rivers, but like I don't think he's not like this great coach.
The point, right?
He's not this like great coach or anything though, in my opinion.
Would have been better than Doc Rivers.
I just think Doc Rivers is that bad.
He's just I could spend hours on him.
Has he done? I mean, they won what? He honestly is very similar to Budenholzer. He won 1 championship in 2008, and he's seen as like this great coach, but he's not. This shows like a coach winning a championship doesn't mean they're a great coach.
Yeah,
who was the I don't even know who the Cavs coach was when they got to the finals the first year and lost in 2015 before Tyronn Lue. I don't even remember who that was, but like that coach got them to the championship. Again, that was LeBron. Like, just the fact that like a coach wins a championship doesn't mean they're a great coach.
Yeah, we're not that far removed from Budenholzer though. We are from Doc Rivers, and we've seen Doc Rivers with great team after great team with great. That's a tiny sample size in comparing the two. Like Budenholzer, that's a very quick turnaround. We're going to fire you, and now we can he only had 1, even though that was not that long ago. We can just throw it out the window. Doc Rivers has had team after team.
No, I agree.
Teams.
I think Budenholzer is a little bit better, but like it might be trending in the same direction.
We just don't know yet with Budenholzer.
I think it might be trending in the same. It might be trending in the same direction.
That's way too early to say.
It might be trending.
All right, we got to throw the break here. On the next side, you guys are welcome to join in. It's me and Ben Drozd here. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line. We may have one more segment, or we might be back to some more state high school baseball. Don't go anywhere, right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's truck month at Koppel, and we want to sell them all. Choose between 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list price. Yes, you heard right. That's 0.9% APR or as much as $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Koppel in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
I'm Dave Osted. And I'm Ryan Osted. I think my first memory of golf is playing with my dad at a par 3 course. It was an absolute blast, and he always would have an ice cream hole. So if I got an 8 or less, we'd be going for ice cream.
My first memory of golf really focused on driving the golf cart, being able to drive that cart.
You were a crazy driver.
I was a crazy driver, but it was what I look forward to. And what's really funny now, when I take my kids out play golf, that is the one thing, along with the snack bar, that they are most excited about.
Focus on the good stuff. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
To the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got Ben Drozd filling the time with me as we get ready for our next Class A state baseball game. We got Creighton Prep versus Elkhorn South. So should be a good one there. Austin Orman, Nick Sainert on the call for that one, as they have been throughout all of this high school state baseball. We did get one from the text line. This will go ahead and swing us into our next conversation here about some Nebraska football evaluations. And Ben, I'll just ask you first. This one from Greg in Michigan. Do you feel some schools offer recruits based on Nebraska's evaluation without doing their own? In other words, Nebraska offered, so we will too.
No, I don't think schools are doing that. I think they do their homework. You have to. There's way too much money getting put into these teams to not be doing at least a little bit of recruiting on these teams.
Yeah, I think they definitely look at Nebraska's evaluation. I think
definitely.
All schools, but they're definitely trying to figure out what their own numbers look like.
Yeah, like they're not going to just like
offer. They're
not going to offer someone a scholarship.
No, now you will see
someone else's evaluation.
The waiting game where schools will not offer. And then all of a sudden, a kid gets an offer from it. Boom! Here comes the wave, because they are kind of seeing, do we have to commit a scholarship to this kid already if we're unsure about it? And then as the class starts to build up, then go ahead and jump on it if we need to.
No, that's definitely a good point. I mean, sometimes they can get the ball rolling once one offers. You're like, okay, now we have to offer. Same thing with NFL free agency. If you get a report that this guy was offered $70 million, it's like, well, no, I got to offer that.
Exactly.
Also is like same thing, if you're like selecting people in like NBA draft, when someone that was like high on people's draft board starts dropping, people are like, well, why is this guy dropping? And then they don't want to pick him. It's kind of like same thing. It's just like, going, if the group says this, why is the group saying that?
What does the group say about Brown and James?
I think the group says he's not that great at basketball, but his dad is the second greatest player to ever play the game. So
you're taking a chance?
He shouldn't go first round, but he'll probably go first round or early second.
I'm guessing second round.
He's gonna probably be. I mean, bro, again, I said this before. If you were the Pistons, why would you not take him? I'm not saying with like their fifth pick. I'm saying like,
I see.
Second, like later. Why would you not take him? I don't get it.
Yeah,
if you are a small market team, why would you not take him with the chance that LeBron James would go to your team? If you're the Atlanta Hawks, why would you not draft Bronny with the chance of getting LeBron James to come to the Atlanta Hawks? Like, that'd be the greatest thing ever to happen to your franchise.
So you think LeBron's unrestricted free agent come the end of the year?
I think he's going wherever his son goes. I really do. I don't think he wants. I think he's only playing basketball because he wants to play with his son.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
he's pretty damn good at it too. Still, but he has talked about retiring.
He's obviously still good at basketball. We all know that, but I don't think he has the same passion for the game that he used to. In my opinion.
He's talked about retiring too.
Like he's talked about retiring. Like even you could tell this year. Like I don't know, man. I don't feel like LeBron 5 years ago would have accepted the Lakers season this year.
Yeah, the way they ended the season was weird. And we're not going to talk about NBA again. But when you got two mic drops with AD and LeBron James, and then at the end saying it's just a game, it's a different tone that we haven't heard before.
I think when he won his championship in LA, that kind of like set. I think he was happy with his career after that. I mean, obviously, he would have rather won more in Cleveland, won more in Miami, whatever. But like, he was content with his career after he won that championship in LA, in my opinion. And he was kind of just playing the long ball.
So I think it really bothers him that he's gonna. I'd never really be considered the GOAT. Like he'll be in the GOAT conversation. The GOAT
by this generation, by my generation, not by me, but my generation, our generation.
See that part. Like I run into a lot of Bens though. A lot of people in our generation that still have Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. Like it's still split. Michael Jordan's era, it was not split at all. It was Michael Jordan, no question. This generation, it's like it's still pretty split, even with the younger. And I think the fact that it won't ever be clear that LeBron's the GOAT, you can have a debate about it. I think that does bother him. I think that's a big part of this long career he's had with the Lakers, getting that ring.
I mean, getting a championship in LA put him in like that honestly put him in a lot higher standing.
Like if he even won another ring right now, say next season, does that make him the greatest of all time? No, it's running away from him. That's the problem. I think it does bother him at some level because I think he really was chasing that greatest of all time.
If he does, I mean, if he turns into vintage LeBron at the age of 40, I mean, it depends how he wins that championship.
Exactly.
If he wins that championship because this isn't going to happen, but Steph Curry goes to the Lakers or whatever, like some big shot person goes to the Lakers to join LeBron and AD, you know, like it's not going to be the same as if LeBron won a championship looking like he did, in 2016, 2018.
Yeah. His only chance is to like have him and Bronny have a historic playoff.
Again, we're not wanting to talk NBA, but like, with the GOAT debate, I mean, I think LeBron was better earlier career than Michael Jordan was. Like LeBron early in his career was getting his team to the playoffs, and Michael Jordan didn't he miss the playoff like first 5? Something
and
like
didn't
that.
Even win right away when he got there.
Yeah, so it's just like I think LeBron right away was a better player, but over the course of their career, I think Michael Jordan, winning 3 championships.
I just wish you
going away from the game, winning another 3.
You should stay with your Miami Heat. You look at all the great players, especially Michael Jordan. It's like great coaches usually fall right behind. And I always wonder, would LeBron have more rings if he was stayed with the Heat? Yeah, maybe not right away, but they could build back up through more years. The team hopping thing always, I think, destroys legacies and potential rings for a lot of players. The ring chasing thing doesn't work very well. It blows my mind how many players. It does not work.
Yeah,
I mean, time and time again, it rarely works.
Then again, if he stayed with the Heat, Dwayne Wade was getting a lot more injury riddled. Chris Bosh had blood clots.
Yeah,
like
it wouldn't be better right away.
The Heat would have gotten better later, but
exactly
him going to the Cavs, like he always wanted to go back to the Cavs. Like I was a Heat fan. I saw the reason. Like he said he was going to go back to Cleveland. Like he was always going to go back to Cleveland.
That's just what
he had to get a championship in
exactly.
Cleveland. That is part of the reason of why he's so historic is because he went back to his hometown
after he left in a horrible fashion.
I don't think people say a horrible fashion. I mean, come on, that Cavs team was not good.
Okay,
he was tired of.
Why have a television and 3 hats just to give a middle finger to the city you love, the city that loves you to death?
Money.
Yeah. So no, not a great PR move.
Horrible
PR move.
Not the greatest, but I mean,
people
the writing was on the wall, man.
Right, we're getting sidetracked. We're not going to talk about
the writing was on the wall.
Michael Jordan's the greatest. We can agree on that one.
Me and you do. Not everybody, but
no. But at least in this room, we can say that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. We'll see what happens with LeBron, but likely to be an unrestricted free agent. Who knows if he's playing with Bronny next season? But I want to talk about this because
Husker football.
Husker football. That is it in particular because Circus Sports. They set out a lot of betting odds. They're pretty big in that. If you go DraftKings, any of those, a lot of those use those numbers. Nebraska's over under is 7.5. Not bad at all. You compare that to the other Big Ten. The only other teams with a higher or at equal to 7.5, you got USC 7.5. Washington's actually at 7. They got Michigan at 9, Iowa at 7.5, Ohio State 10.5, Oregon 10.5, Penn State 10. Otherwise, everybody else is under us.
I'm predicting 7 wins. So I don't know. That's actually a really good line in my opinion.
I think for anyone who looks at the Nebraska football schedule, it totally makes sense, and we'll just bring it up here. So
because I think what is it? They have 7 schedule. They have 7 games before Ohio State, all very winnable. Yeah, I'm predicting they're either going to go 5-2 or 6-1 in that stretch.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I think
UTEP and Northern Iowa.
Yeah,
so nice.
They're probably going to go 6-1, 5-2, and then I'm guessing they get 1 or 2 more wins after that because they're not beating Ohio State.
I'm not going to say they're not just because
they're not.
Ohio State.
Harrison. They're not. Harrison. This is Ohio State, Harrison.
They haven't blown the doors off Nebraska.
Okay.
They have. It's been better than we always expected. Has it not been a little bit better going into those games? But it hasn't been quite.
Nebraska still has
Michigan
a long ways to go.
A long ways to go.
They still have a long ways to go. Same thing with the Michigan. I think they had the one close game when, what was that, 2021?
Yeah, Ben Adrian Martinez.
They had one close game, and now we feel like we can beat Ohio State and Michigan. We can't.
We can't. It's one of those things where you're not expected to, but to sit there and why even play the game if you can't win?
I'm not saying why even play the game. They have to play. They have to play the game. There's a chance they beat them, but they're not going to.
There's always a chance.
See, this is the thing that irked me though. Why did people think Nebraska football had a better chance to beat Michigan than Nebraska basketball to beat Purdue? That was the thing that blew my mind.
Yeah, I didn't
because there was a lot of people that thought we were going to beat Michigan, and no one thought we could beat Purdue in basketball. I'm like. Basketball is such more of a game that the underdog can win because all you have to do is get hot, especially a team like Nebraska that's 3-point happy.
Yeah.
And football is the better team's going to win. 90% of the time, the better team is going to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, I don't know. Husker fans sometimes get a little bit too, about football, get a little bit too eager.
Yeah. I mean, hey, when you don't get any pro teams around, what are you going to do? You're going to get excited about these games.
I want them to be excited, but like, come on. Nebraska, to say that Nebraska had a better chance to beat Michigan in football than Purdue in basketball.
Well, no, I don't agree with that.
That irked me. I think that's just casual fans that didn't watch basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're not watching Nebraska basketball, you're assuming that's and it was for a long time, not a great program.
Yeah.
So if you weren't paying attention to it, you wouldn't think they had.
Can we be honest? Nebraska football hasn't been a great program either, to be honest.
No, it hasn't.
Matt Rule's turning it around, in my opinion. But like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wasn't feeling good about that Michigan game heading into it.
I wasn't either.
I knew we had a chance, but that's one where I was like,
man, Heinrich Harburg is our quarterback.
Yeah, that was a tough one because I remember my mom came down for that game. So just tough.
I mean,
tough game.
We always have a chance to beat a rival Big Ten opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, no matter the sport, you always have a chance.
Yeah.
If stuff falls your way, but
Michigan's got the script over there too.
This again,
which it felt like every single game.
Yeah. So.
And they did have a script. I mean, they got penalized for it.
Harrison, there's not a script.
They had something over there. Okay, let's go through this though, because it's set to 7.5, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Your non-cons, you got UTEP, Northern Iowa. Second game, this is probably going to be the early. It's going to be hard to tell, right? Because with Colorado, Dion, Shador, the crew down there, Hunter, you just don't entirely know what the success of year 2 is going to be.
I think Nebraska wins that game.
I think on paper we're better, right?
I think Nebraska was humiliated last year, and Matt Rule is not going to let them lose that game.
Mm-hmm. But Colorado gets up for that game too. It's going to be it's in Nebraska, which helps a lot. I think it's going to be massive.
And that's another reason why I'm confident Nebraska wins that.
I think they find a way.
If it was at Colorado, probably be tougher.
So you're sitting at 2-0, unless you're calling 3-0, unless you're calling for an outrageous upset against UTEP, Northern Iowa, or if you just think Colorado is going to steal one, maybe you have a loss. But 3-0. Then you go to Illinois. Illinois, with a circle, they're only given 5.5 is their over/under. Then you go to Purdue. Purdue sitting around 5.5 as well. Then Rutgers.
They probably lose one game in there.
Well, also I'm saying your Big Ten teams, your first 4 Big Ten teams are going to be Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers, Indiana.
They probably lose one of those. Yeah, I bet they go 3-1. That's why I think they start the year 6-1. And this is going to be another thing where like you're just going to have a brutal end of the year schedule, and I'm guessing they're going to get one more win. They're either going to beat Iowa or beat a Wisconsin and probably lose all the other games.
Okay.
I think they're going to get 7 or 8 wins. So that's why the 7.5 point
win spread right at 7, and then boom, Ohio State.
No, I have a 6-1.
6.
I think we lose one of the 4-game Big Ten stretch before Ohio State. I think we lose one of those.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm really excited for the UCLA game and USC.
No, yeah,
back to back. Because how out of the
do you think we can?
Teams,
do you think we can beat those teams though?
I think we definitely beat UCLA. USC, I would say, typically I would say no, right? But we've seen this with Oregon. Even when Oregon was ranked and Nebraska football was kind of in the dumps, the past 2 times they played, it's looked like a Pac-12 team just running up the scoreboard, and then second half drags on. You kind of get into that more gritty Big Ten football. Nebraska's found a way to pull it off with realistically less skill. So USC, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, we got their number. A team like UCLA, though, I think they're going to struggle a lot. A team like Oregon, they have enough offensively. I think they'll actually be off and rolling. Washington, they're just losing a lot, but I think style-wise, they probably fit the best.
Washington.
But they're just losing so much talent this year. So
that
I don't know
true.
if Washington's going to be good.
It could be the same situation as TCU.
Yeah, I like Washington down the road more than I do next
season. Yeah, we'll have to see. But I mean, I'm guessing like 7 or 8 wins. So the 7.5 win spread is very. I'm very much debating whether I'm wanting to go over or under on that.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid and just go over.
Yeah, you're drinking Kool-Aid. I don't know. It just depends, because if I say over, if they are not 6-1 before Ohio State, they're not getting 8 wins. Like if they're 5-2 heading into Ohio State, they're not getting 8 wins.
Yeah, I mean that's brutal. You're looking down a brutal stretch of games.
This is what I'm saying. So it really depends on how the beginning of the season goes.
We're gonna have to wrap up here though. So that's way too early. I'm not gonna lock onto those, so I'm not gonna announce what I have for my preseason over under yet. But just a little peek as some of the way too early odds are going out for teams win and loss totals. Interesting to see so many people have Nebraska as high up as they do. You see a guy like Joe Klatt and those preseason.
They're getting to a bowl game this year. That like you have, and if they don't, then stuff has to change.
Then problems are afoot. With that being said, we'll throw it to break here, and we will be back with some high school state baseball. Nick Sainer and Austin Norman on the call.
Go Nick and Austin.
Appreciate you guys listening. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosden. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe